Hi, it's the Lipstick Gal. Thank you so much for watching today. I just need to get ready for the day, so I thought we could do that together. So I accidentally picked up the wrong shade last month when I made an order from Lisa Eldridge. This is the shade, I think it's Cosmic Rose. I love the Elevated Glow. It's one of my favorite all-time products. I've been in love with the original shade I bought was Crystal Nebula. But I feel like, adding just a little bit of this to the face is gonna give me a little bit of glow without being too much. And I'm gonna just use it as kind of like a glowy primer. I'm trying not to get any on my nose because I really don't need any more glow in that department. Now, if the weather's warming up, it's glowing all on its own. So I feel like this is gonna keep my skin looking nice and juicy. And I've been trying to decide what to use today. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go for an old favorite I haven't used in forever. I love this so much, but I haven't used it in, months. So I have always been a big fan of the Light Wonder from Charlotte Tilbury. I have the shade 1 Fair. I don't know how fair it is, but it works for me. I'm just gonna plop a little bit of this here, there, and everywhere, and then we'll blend it out. My goal is not to have like really heavy coverage today, but just minimal, just a little bit of skin perfection. That's kind of what I'm going for now that the weather is heating up. If I put on a full face of makeup and then I plan to live in it all day long, unless I'm in severe air conditioning all day long, it doesn't always work for me. The reason I love this foundation is that it looks like nothing. And that's what I want. I want just a slightly more perfected base to my skin. I'm just using a little bit of the Beauty Pie Super Luminous Under Eye Genius. My favorite thing about this foundation is just that it looks like skin. It's really lightweight. You can build it up a little bit, but it's kind of light medium coverage. It's really not a ton. And most days, especially in warmer weather, that's really what I'm going for. Just a little evening out, knocking down the redness a little bit, making the skin look like it's the same color all over. I'm going to dip into the Glossier Stretch Concealer. I'm not really going for a ton of coverage here. I'm just going to use this little brush here and just stamp a little bit under the eyes. I'm not really looking for a ton of coverage, just to kind of dial down the under eye situation. I'm going to throw on just the lightest layer of the LYS Triple Fix powder. I don't need a lot. I do need a little bit under the eye. And then if I don't hit my nose, I'm gonna be an oil slick later. I might still be, but at least I will have made an effort. I would love to know what you're doing now that we're in June. How's life going for you? Do you have any fun summer plans? My plans are really not terribly exciting. The only trip that I know of that we're taking, that I'm a part of, my husband's probably gonna take the kids camping, but if you didn't know, I'm not an outdoorsy kind of gal. I'm the, I'll stay home and make you dinner when you get home from camping kind of gal. My kids always want me to go and I'm just like, I love you, but no. So my husband takes them camping and hiking and all the outdoorsy things, and I stay home and have a quiet weekend. We are headed out of town for the 4th of July. We have some really good family friends who own a beautiful piece of property near a lake, and we're gonna go spend the weekend at the lake. I can't remember, is the 4th of July on Sunday or Monday? It doesn't matter, but we're going, we're leaving on Friday. We're spending the whole weekend there. And I think my husband and I both have Monday off, so we're gonna just leave on Monday, really stay, linger, and enjoy ourselves and hang out with our friends. The kids will go swim in the lake. We might do some glass bottom boats on the lake at night. I don't know, we're just gonna have fun. And there's a lot of hiking when we go to the lake, and I stay inside with a book or my crochet, and everybody else goes out, like all the other parents. It's a large house, so there's room for 3 families. And so there's 6 adults and 6 kids. And everybody leaves and they take the dogs and everything. They all go for a hike, and I'm the only one left in this massive house, and it's silent, and it's the most beautiful thing because I am there by myself. Not in my house, so there's no responsibilities, there's nothing to do. It's just kick back and relax. And while everybody's outside on the 4th sweating, I'm inside with my little icy beverage of whatever I want and some quiet. I can't wait. That's the only trip that I know. We have family coming to visit us this month, and we're looking forward to that. I'm noticing some rogue pieces of glitter, And it's not from any of the products I'm using. Something I was using yesterday, and I could see sparkle all over my countertop. And I put this down, and now I have like a little rogue piece of sparkle. If you see some, it's not from this, what I'm using today. It's just because this came in contact with glitter, and glitter, like once it's there forever. I'm gonna throw a little bit of the solar paint on today. I haven't used this in a while, and I forget how much I like this formula. So I'm just gonna draw a couple of little lines here, and then I'll blend them in. Can't forget under here. This is me telling myself that we're working on our weight, and until then, cosmetics. My brother and my sister-in-law and their 4-year-old were visiting, and it's the first time I've seen my niece in 2 years. The last time I saw her was early March of 2020. And it's hard when kids are little, they don't remember. And so, you know, we've been talking on the phone and FaceTiming, but it's not the same. She remembers my daughters really well because there's something about an older cousin that just somehow it gets in there and you can't get it out. But it was so good to spend time with family. My parents came for a visit, and my brother was here. We had some other extended family. I have an aunt and some cousins who live here in town, and we just all got together and had the best time ever. And it was one of those things that I forgot how much I missed family get-togethers. Oh, had a great time. I'm using the Rose Ink blush today. This one is in the shade Azalea. The texture on this is so different. It's thick and it kind of grabs your finger. And I know that sounds strange, but it's really interesting. All the rest of the ones that I have tend to be a little glossier, have a little bit more slip to them. The one from Ritual de Fille, which is a favorite of mine. The one from Danessa Myricks, the Dewy Cheek and Lip palette. That one really has kind of a nice slip to it. A lot of the other ones that I have don't really like adhere to my finger the same way. I almost feel like I'm sticking my finger in, I don't know. I can't really think of what it feels like. I would normally add highlight right now, but the highlight I'm wanting to use today is really, really dewy. And if anything gets in it, it's there all day. So I'm gonna skip that for now. We'll come back to that. But I think I need to do my eyebrows. I did pick up the Glossier Brow Flick. This is a product that I have seen for years and have never tried. Now, I've been loving my Anastasia brow pen quite a lot. So when I made an order from Glossier, I said, you know what, let's try this out. This is basically like a flexible pen style. I feel like it feels very similar to, ooh, the lines are very, very light. It can be really, really, really thin or really, really dark. I'm gonna start on my eyebrow that has the least amount of hairs from the arch out. And that way I can make sure not to put too much in this one and then have to catch this one up. We'll start with this one here. And I usually start where I feel like if I hold it really close to the base, I'm gonna get a really heavy mark, but if I hold it out towards the end, I'm gonna get a wispier mark. And I'm just gonna carefully go over the areas with a really light touch where I feel like I could use just a little bit more than I got. But I feel like this one is not as pigmented as the one from ABH. Let's see. I feel like I don't have to be as careful with this one. They only have 3 shades. I think they have like a blonde, a brown, and I don't know if it's a soft black, but I feel like this looks pretty good, but not too heavy. I'm gonna try and make this one match. I'll be right back. Instead of adding more color, I'm just gonna add a layer of the NYX Control Freak Clear Brow Gel to this, and this should kind of help keep them in place today, but not add any more bulk or any more color, because I feel like they're pretty bold. I picked this eyeshadow palette up during the Viseart sale. This is their Soile Plage, and this is definitely a palette that the first time I saw it, it came out I think last summer. I was like, yeah, that's nice. I don't think I need it, but then it was 40% off. And I really love products from Viseart. I think I'm gonna do something really soft today. I'm gonna start with this guy here. I've only used this once since it arrived, so I thought it'd be time to pull it out. Do kind of like a soft, lightly glowy look. I'm gonna go into this darkest brown here. I'm not gonna use a lot of it, literally the smallest amount, just to darken up this outer corner. Like, that might even be too much. So earlier, about a week ago, I discovered the worst thing. I discovered that there was mold in my closet. And I was like, where did this come from? And I was sure that there was like a leak in the roof. No. Oh, man, my husband, bless his heart, came in. And when I discovered it, I walked in there, I was like, it smells weird in here. What is that? And usually something smells weird. We also keep our laundry hamper in the closet. And I was sure it was like, you know, it's time to do some laundry because it smelled a little funky in here. And I was like, this doesn't smell like laundry. It doesn't smell like socks or anything else, sweaty t-shirts. It was like, this smells different. And I was like, why is it coming from where I had all of my long dresses? I wear a ton of maxi dresses kind of hanging in one area. And it turned out that I had spent so much time this winter in the bathroom, in the bathtub, and I didn't turn the fan on, and all of that steam was collecting, but there is no ventilation in my closet. There's like vents and stuff in the bedroom, in the bathroom, but not my closet. And so all of that had gotten trapped in there, all of that damp and steam, and there was mold growing. I was like, what? So I pulled everything out of the closet. I was so angry. Scrubbed the wall down wearing gloves and a mask. And then I went to Home Depot and I got a primer. I reprimed and repainted the walls, the baseboards. Like, it is clean as a whistle in there, spick and span. I was horrified. I was like, where does this come from? And my husband, who has a degree in biology, he's like, sweetheart, what you may not know is that there's always mold spores in the air. Always, always, always. So if it was the right environment, they were gonna grow because they're always around. And I was just like, I feel terrible. I felt so grossed out. Anyway, but my clothes lived for 24 hours. All the clothes in my half of the closet where the mold was growing, not on his half, on my half, were living out in the living room, draped over couches, draped over chairs. And then I had to put blankets on top of them because my cat, oh, I love that cat, but sometimes the cat, she would go and she would sit on it, and she does not like to have her nails clipped, so I couldn't have her like sitting on top of my good clothes and snagging them. Anyway, it was a lot. Finally got it all washed down, primed, painted, dried out, and now I have little containers in there of beads that will absorb moisture. They're not silica gel beads, but they're similar to that. And my husband is looking for something that we can constantly reuse. And I think he's trying to make sure, but he keeps telling me, you're always yelling at the kids to turn the fan on when they take a long shower or a long bath in their bathroom, and you don't do it yourself. And I was like, I know, I'm a bad person. I think I want to put this shade all over the eye. Oh, that's pretty. I'm definitely doing that. And maybe something lighter in the inner corner, but I want the easiest, softest look today. Almost like, yes, you are wearing makeup, but not a ton. I'm glad I got all that taken care of because my mother, who is a very tidy person, I didn't have the heart to tell my mom. Now, if she watches this video, she will know, but I was like, I can't believe that was happening. I did have to take a few of my dresses to the dry cleaners because they got some mold on them, and the dry cleaner was like, well, I hope I can get this out. And I was like, I promise I'm not a gross person. I didn't know. And so part of me is like, the next time, if we ever move, I'm gonna make sure that any home we buy has ventilation in the closet. I think this one right here might be fun for the inner corner. Ooh, it's almost lemony. Oh, that's fun. One of the things I've always struggled with, and I know this is probably, I'm not the only one who deals with this, I'm just running a little bit of this light matte brown underneath the eye, is the expectation that I hold myself up against of being as awesome as my mom is. My mom is fantastic. My mom can do anything. My mom is the sort of person who'll be like, oh, you're having an event and you need my help. Let me get in my car and drive from Ohio to Washington State all by myself, bringing all the things we need so you can have a successful event. That's my mom. She also is like the best cook in the world. She's amazing. I know everyone says that about their mom, but my mom is legit an awesome cook. She hosts large groups of people at their home. She like decorates her entire house herself. Like she sews, like you name it, my mom can do it. She's got the beautiful garden, like everything about, and she's the neatest, tiniest person. Her house is always so clean. You know that whole phrase, you could eat off the floor at my mom's house? You probably could. Not that you would need to, but you know. So I think about that, and I'm still in the throes. It was much harder when my kids were younger, and I spent a ton more time when my kids were little, like on the floor playing with them, and that's where I felt like I needed to be, and my house was kind of like getting to be a little crazy. But I had a little bit of a flashback to that feeling of my mother would be horrified when I found the mold in my closet. And I know that sort of thing can happen to anybody, and it was behind all of my long coats, all of my long dresses, and you're only pulling one thing out at a time. I'm not like, and so I just now have to keep an eye on it, knowing that that's a potential problem and that I must turn the fan on. But I had that moment of like, my mom would not be okay with this. She'd be, sweetie, I did not raise you to be like this. And I'd be like, I know, Mom. So I don't know. I had that moment of just like horror of like, And then when the dry cleaner was like, well, I hope I can get this out. I'm like, I'm sorry. I almost said, I've had about as much judgment as I can handle, like my own personal judgment. My husband reminded me that I hadn't been good about turning the fan on, and now I still have to deal with all of this. Please don't hand any more to me. I just can't. I know this palette has a lot more range than what I'm using it for today, but the neutrals were calling to me, and I wanted to keep, you could really build these metallics up to be like really, really intense. But I wanted to keep it really soft, so it wasn't like, boom, there's my eye. I want to keep kind of like a low-key eye today, have the whole look be really subtle. So I'm gonna move on from here. I'm gonna throw on some liner, I'm gonna throw on some mascara, and I'll be right back. Now that my eyes are done, I'm ready to put on my highlight. I'm using the Westman Atelier Lit Up Highlight Stick, and I'm using the shade Lit. And this is one of those where I feel like it's just easiest if I use my fingers instead of actually dabbing like drawing the stick on my face. I don't always feel like that does me any favors. Sometimes it lifts product underneath because it's really quite emollient. And this is one of those that when I picked it up, I was kind of like, oh, it's not what I was hoping for. But it really is a really pretty color, and I'm trying to find ways to use it so it doesn't just sit here staring at me. I paid 40 what for this? Trying not to be in that department. So, you know, if I have to carefully apply it with my fingers and not scribble it on my face like I'm thinking I can, that'd be fine. When I sat down today, my lips were so dry before I even started. I put on a thin layer of gloss. I just threw on some of the Fenty Gloss Bomb in the shade Fussy. And I'm wondering if maybe all I need to do now is just add on a little bit of liner over the top of this. I think I might just do that. I'm just reaching for my Wayne Goss Sepia lip pencil. It's gonna be a little deeper than my natural lip color, but not too much. I kind of like the way this turned out. My goal was not to have too heavy of an eye look, and I feel like the liner and the mascara take it just to the edge, where it's more focused on that and less on the actual color on my lid, and I like that focus today. I also feel like the brows look pretty good. It's a little stronger than I would have liked, but of course I'm getting to know a new product for the first time, and the cheeks look glowy and dewy and bronzy, just how I like them. And I've got a more minimal lip going on. I kind of feel like, why didn't I put on a red lipstick? But well, we were going for something a little more subtle today. Let me know what sort of products you have been reaching for recently. If you're trying some new things, if you have old favorites that you always pull for as the weather starts warming up. I'm glad it's officially summer. Well, I guess not to the 21st. We're getting there. We're getting there. I feel like once after Memorial Day is over, it's like, it's summer. So I'm really enjoying the warmer weather and the lighter looks, and I'll be using less and less as the temperature gets warmer and warmer. Let me know how your summer is going. Thank you so much for watching. Have an incredible day, and I'll see you again soon.